cloud masking in QGIS using the cloud masking plugin. So what is cloud masking? So this is the process of removing clouds. First we identify the clouds, and then we find a way to remove these clouds so that areas that have clouds can be interpreted as no data pixels in a satellite image. And on my screen you can see I have this URL for this cloud masking plugin, and you can see it supports the Landsat products, and you can see from here it supports two types of Landsat products. So we have the level 1 data products. So usually when you download Landsat images from USGS or anywhere you usually download from, you always have an option to select. So if you come to my USGS, and maybe I can select a place for me to download, I can just go with Nairobi. So if I were to select this place, for instance, let me just do something like that. Okay, let me make it a little better. So we have selected our area, and I decide to maybe download data from maybe 2023 February 1st to the current date today. We can do 1st of February, and then I'm going to do a cloud cover, or maybe less, let me say less than 10%, and then I'm going to search the data sets. So based on the plugin, you need to download level 1 Landsat. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to navigate to Landsat, and then under Landsat, I'm going to go to Landsat Collection 2 level 1. So this is the data type, this type of data it supports. So if you were to download this one, it still has the data you need, but it's not going to work. So you have to stick to the type of data that this plugin accepts. So for this demonstration, I'm going to use this Landsat 8 level 1, and this is what we're going to use in my analysis. So I've already downloaded my data. You can see on my screen I have the data set. So in your case, just you will select that and proceed to results. You should be able to see a list of options that USGS is going to provide. And since this is a demonstration, I'm going to pick an area that has clouds. So for instance, this image has clouds. You can see from these, you can see white color on the image. That usually represents clouds. So what you need to do, you need to download the whole bundle. So I'm going to go to download, and once I'm in the download, I'm going to select product options, and then I download the whole Landsat collection for that Landsat satellite image, or rather tile. So this is what you're going to do. Download these and extract these to your maybe working folder. Then once you have these images, you will proceed to QGIS, and you're going to go to plugins, manage and install plugins. So under these, you're going to search for cloud masking. So just type cloud, and you can see you have this plugin. So this is the icon. Click install, and then you'll have your plugin installed. So usually, in my case, I usually try to have this plugin icon to stick in my head so that it can be easier for me to access it. So from my screen, you can see I have it here. And if you cannot access it, if you do not see it anywhere, you can just go to plugins, and you should see it listed down here. Just come and click cloud masking. So this is the pop-up window we'll be expecting. So once we are here, I want to go back to the plugin documentation, and if you need more information regarding these, you can always come back to these their website and go through what they've shared, the workflow, how we load the data, until how we process the final data set. So in this tutorial, let's go ahead and give it a test and see how good this plugin is. So the first option is loading the data, and it's going to read the metadata. So usually when you download your Landsat, so back to our Landsat, the MTL file is this one. It is this file. So you have mtl.txt. You have two files. Another one has an extension of XML, but the one that is needed is the mtl.text. So once you have extracted it, you should be able to see it when you select that file. So I'm going to browse to my folder, and I'm going to select that file. So this is my folder, and this is my MTL file. So I'm going to open it, and I'm going to click on load. So you should be able to see that some other features of this plugin have been activated, and you can see I have an option to load the stacks to see how the image looks like based on my band combination. So I can choose to visualize using the natural color. So that's 432 for Landsat 8. If I need false color, I can just click on it. If that's in scenarios you do not know the band combination or maybe infrared. So let me just stick to the natural color, which is 432, and I'm going to load the stack. So it should be able to display the stacked image on the QGIS window, and you can see I have these now. This is of course this is an RGB. I can be able to at least say this is vegetation, etc., etc. It's not that clear, of course, but you can see the main essence of this is how do we remove these clouds. You can see there are a lot of clouds in this stacked image, and our task is to remove and assign node data to all these regions that have clouds. So once we have been able to read our data, and at least you have been able to visualize it, we're going to filter and mask out these clouds. So what we'll do, we'll create a mask that will have sort of two classes. So we'll have no data and data. So no data will be those areas that have clouds, and data will be the rest of areas that have clouds. So from here you can see we have a few options in the filters to apply. I have the blue band. So what this does, it uses the blue band. That's band, I think that's band RGB, that's band 2. So, and here it has a threshold, and based on this documentation, if you have time and go through it, you can see there's a range between 0 and around 63,000. I'm not able to find it at the moment, but once you go through this, you can be able to see all these information in this plugin. So I can choose to use the blue band to mask out the clouds. Another option is using the QA band. So the QA band is usually comes along with the level 1 products, and what it has information about each pixel, and this pixel can be used in tasks like cloud masking and removal. So here you can see I have options, so I can select all the options that are necessary. Because I'm dealing with clouds, I can select anything related to clouds. So this is a type of cloud, I believe. This is another cloud, a cloud shadow as well. So usually when a satellite takes an image, you should be able to see. So if I zoom in here, you can see I have the actual cloud, and below it I have the shadow of that cloud. So those are some of the things you can take into consideration as well. So you can select all the options that are necessary, but I think it's better if you use one of the options. I'm not sure if you can use both. I haven't tried both of them, but I'm going to use the QA band to see how efficient that is. So I'm going to uncheck the blue band, and I'm going to select all the options that are relevant to clouds and that can help to mask out these clouds. So this is a region in Kenya. We do not experience any snow, so I'm not going to check in snow. Neither am I going to check water, but I'm going to check the cloud confidence. So I'm going to assign the highest confidence because I believe these are clouds. If you're not sure this is a cloud and this is a snow, then you might have to change your choice in this section. I'm also going to select the cloud shadow confidence. I'm very confident that this is a cloud shadow, so I'm going to check high. And also for snow, again, my area does not experience any snows, so this again I'm going to check high because I know this is a type of cloud. So once I have this checked, I'm going to go and generate the cloud mask. So down here I have an option to only specify maybe within an area of interest or within my shapefile if I have any, or if I need to draw a bounding box on top of this image. So if I needed to draw my own area of interest, I can check that box, and I'm going to use this AI picker, or eye picker, but I do not need to do that. So I'm going to uncheck that. But if I have my own shapefile, my own area of interest, I can be able to select it from this drop down or browse to wherever it is. So I'm not going to select any of that. So I'm just going to generate a mask. So let me see. Let's see how the mask is going to look like. So once it's done, it should display all the areas that have mask, have clouds. Sorry. So if I open this, you can be able to see that it has been able to correctly pick out the clouds. So you can see here I have my clouds. So all these are clouds that have been masked out of the Landsat image. So, and using the cloud mask that we have just generated, then you can be able to remove them from the image. So the next thing and the final thing is to apply what we have done. And in this section, you can see we have an option to now use the cloud mask that we have just generated. So under this, by default, it's going to autofill itself. And once that is there, you have an option to now apply the mask. So here you can see apply mask to maybe as a raw band, SR band. So these are spectral reflectors bands, or maybe a particular file. So for simplicity, let's keep it a default SR bands. So once you have that, we're going to select the destination folder of our final output. I'm going to save this to the default folder, and I'm going to apply this. So my expectation is I should have an image that has the clouds removed, and I should see maybe whites or blacks in areas that had clouds before. So let's see how this plays out. So it's done, and you can see this is the final output. Of course, all these other regions that were out of range, because the satellite image is actually this rectangle, the one that is tilted. Everything else, there's no data there. And that's the same concept that we are playing here. So you can see if I were to move the mask up, or rather let me move this down, you can see that areas that had clouds, now they have no clouds. So these are areas that have no data. So whatever you do with this image in your classification, these areas will not have any data. So if I were to classify this image, I'm going to say that I'm going to create training classes around these black areas and saying that these are areas that I have no data about. I do not know what is there. So I'm not going to generalize and say that this is vegetation, this is building. So I'll be eliminating any miscellaneousness I'm going to create in my analysis. So maybe one last thing is we can visualize this again in 3 RGB just for, let me say, formality. So I'm just going to close this window, and I'm going to select that. So once I've selected that, so this is our final. Okay, once you close that window, everything else, the cloud mask, if you do not save it, will disappear. It will not be saved in your machine or folder. So that's the downside. Maybe you can try exporting those data sets, but once you close the cloud masking window, everything will disappear except for the final output. So let's try visualizing this. So I'm going to do 5, 4, 3. So the red band will be 5, and the green band is going to be 4, and the red band can be 3. So at least I'm having something sort of an RGB. I'm not sure why it's 5, 4, 3 band combination is. Maybe I tried 4, 3, 3, but we can just check 5, 4, 3, maybe Landsat. Let me say Landsat combination, and we can see this together, what sort of combination is. Based on Google, it's telling me it's a band combination that is used for vegetation analysis, and then that's the one that seems to be making this image quite visible, because the other bands are not. I can see it's much visible. I can see vegetation around this area, and yeah, so you can play around with the bands to see how they come out. But you can see here I have a very clear image, and areas that had clouds, I have no data there anymore, so they have been masked out. I have no data in those areas. So thank you guys for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more GIS related content. Let me know in the comment section below on how this goes on your end. Thank you.